Have y'all ever heard that term, nice girls finish last? I feel like a part of that is true. And there's reasons why I believe that this fact or that this statement can be true. And I just want to make a disclaimer before I even start my rant or before I even start this discussion. This is not a invitation for you to go around being mean or angry to everyone that you encounter. I definitely feel like there is parameters around what I'm saying, and you have to really use discernment regarding how you manage your energy and also how you treat others, because inevitably the way you treat yourself will show up in the way that you treat others. It's important to have proper boundaries, especially when dealing with yourself, and just knowing your limits, knowing what you deserve and knowing what you definitely will not tolerate. If you're not 100% comfortable with getting to know yourself, you're not really going to be comfortable with setting boundaries with other people, just because you're probably still in a position where you feel as though that you have to appeal to other people, or you have to make other people feel comfortable with the way that you're showing up, and you're just afraid of other people's opinion. We see a lot of people get labeled as being difficult or hard to work with just because they have boundaries in place. And particularly, I'll say that I'm speaking for women. I'm speaking for women because I don't really know the perspective of being in a man's shoes, so I can't really speak for their side. But I'll say the majority of women that have boundaries and carry themselves in a way that's respectful are labeled as hard to work with, because it's literally hard to penetrate them. It's hard to sell them some stuff that's like, I'll say it's hard to sell them bullshit. It's hard to sell them a dream. It's hard to sell them anything that is degrading or in a position to put them down. And honestly, I feel like that's a sad statement in itself, because why would you want someone to settle for mediocrity just because you're not able to reach her level or come to her level? Having boundaries is very important and essential to living your very best life. There are going to be people that are going to test you and test your limits just to see if you are serious about what you're saying. And there are going to be people around you that aren't really comfortable with expressing their boundaries. So when they see that you are someone that puts yourself first, and that you are someone that is an advocate for expressing your concerns and also expressing what you will not tolerate, they will be more comfortable with expressing those needs for themselves. And there are also going to be people that they're not going to be 100% comfortable with being around you just because you're not easy to play with. You're not easy to manipulate. And honestly, that's okay, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you have to lower your standards, or that you have to live up or live down to be who they want you to be. I always tell people, like, when you're in a social setting, it's okay to be nice. It's okay to, not necessarily nice, but I'll say it's okay to be kind to people. It's okay to laugh and smile and enjoy yourself and be polite, and not go around disrespecting people just because you're socially awkward and you're not comfortable with where you are. But as soon as someone gets out of line, being you, because especially if you're like someone that takes care of your appearances, you keep your nails done, you keep your skin glowing, and you're beautiful from the inside out. People will label you as being a pushover just because of your appearance, and that's not necessarily nice. In a male dominated field where they label women as being pushovers just because of their meekness or just because of how fragile they look, but that's far from the truth. Well, it's one thing to have beauty, but when you have beauty and brains, and when you have this wisdom about you and you have this intuitive knowledge about you, that could be kind of like intimidating, and that can also be a little bit of a surprise. And it's sad to say that it's a surprise, but it is a surprise because people don't normally encounter people that have this much wisdom about their energy, and they don't encounter this because there is such a large majority of women that aren't really awakened to their true power. They aren't awakened that being necessarily nice is not going to get them anywhere. Trying to pretend to be someone or to be that person in the room that needs to be likable, or that does not get inside of the arguments, that does not get inside of debates, that is not necessarily going to put you in a position where people are going to respect you. People are, honestly, they're going to take that as a go for them, or a green light for them to run over you and to just talk to you anyway, or they want to talk to you. And I know that's true because I've been in a room with multiple men, and they kind of like know based on my demeanor that I'm not the one. And of course they're going to try you. Of course they're going to, like, because we all test people. It's in our nature to test people, to test their boundaries and to test their limits, to see what exactly is this person about, or can I get away with doing this to this person without them saying anything to me. We all do it. It's in our nature. We all test our boundaries. We all test the limits. But for those people that don't see the signs and they're not socially aware, they know nothing about psychology, they know nothing about human anatomy or anything like that, they will allow themselves to be tested. They will allow themselves to be used, and they will know nothing about how to utilize their power. And I think it's kind of like sad in a situation, or sad in a way, but at some point you choose to be at that level. You choose to be someone that does not know. You choose to be someone that is just who you are. And you choose to be that person that's programmed, and you chose to be in that position. You chose not to reprogram yourself. You chose not to invest in your education. You chose not to give yourself or your body the proper nutrients that you need in order to thrive in an environment that probably was set up for you to fail. But yeah, back to what I was saying. People will try you. They will constantly test you and try you. But if you're that person that has boundaries, and you're that person that is not socially agreeable with everything that's going on, and you don't allow people to run over you, and you can properly say like, hey, I don't like the way that you said this, can you please stop saying this? Or if someone says something that's totally displeasing or unagreeable, you're not sitting there smiling. Like, what is there to smile about? You have no expression on your face, and you're just, it shows that you're not agreeing with what this person actions has proven, or what this person actions is like showing you. And it's okay to not be that girl that's like constantly smiling in the room or constantly nice, because nice girls finish last. And there's a lot of podcasts, there are a lot of discussions on this, because it's true. And it's not just for girls, it's for everyone, including nature. Like, nature has a way of showing that being nice all the time, or being in a position where people are wanting to agree with what the weather is, like whether it's going to be sunny. Nature does not thrive off being sunny 100% of the day. Nature does not thrive off of having completely no storms, no odd weather. Nature does not thrive off of that. Nature needs some type of change. And I think this is a good time for me to say, like, people will literally name you as being bipolar just because you change, just because you have multiple personalities and you can show up in multiple ways based on your environment, based on how the environment is treating you, or based on your resources. And it's literally in our nature to adapt to our surroundings and to adapt to the people around us. But what if we don't adapt? What if we decide that this harsh environment is something that is for us, so we must behave harshly, we must accept harsh behaviors in order to get our points across, or in order to get to the next level? You would literally be lowering yourself just because of your environment, just because of how people would normally act. And that's not cool. It's not cool at all. I do want to have more discussions about how to behave more not like a nice girl. If you really want this knowledge, or if you really want more advice on how to be not nice, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also comment if you would love to hear more about this topic. It was nice speaking with y'all. See you in the next video.